Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Edna from White City, Saskatchewan. And today, our topic for Mindset Monday is, do you know how important it is to have a daily routine? So I'm gonna just kind of wait a few minutes for a few of you to join me. And if, as you're getting on here, if you can tell me a little bit about how your weekend went. And if you have a daily routine already, maybe share with me what it is and how it works for you, because I do honestly believe that your routine is one of your biggest things, and it is definitely a mindset thing, because if you're healthy, there's a good chance that your daily routine is a good part of that. It might be, you know what, I get up and work out 2-3 days a week. So I always feel energetic. I watch what I eat. I don't eat junk food all the time. I eat regularly, different things like that. If your results are where you want them to be, examine what you do in your life that as a daily routine that make those results work. And then see how you can take that same or something similar routine and put it into an area of your life that's maybe not working that well. So good morning, everyone. This is awesome. Good to see you. Good morning, Bailey. Good morning, Mitz. Hey, hi, Mitz. How are you? Good morning, Jake. Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Harry. Your weekend was fantastic. Awesome. You know what? So was ours. We had our mastermind this weekend and it was so good. I got just such a great group to work with. Good morning, Audrey. Good morning, Terry. Good morning, Lindy. Good morning, Drew. Drew was helping me load up my truck last night after the mastermind and forgot his computer in my truck. So we got to courier it off to him today, because I know what it's like. You can't be without your computer. That's a killer, a deal killer. Yeah, Audrey, it was absolutely a great weekend. Thank you so much for being there, and it was wonderful getting to meet your mom, and introducing your mom and your sister to the whole group. They're just as sweet as you are, so that's so nice. So again, the topic Brenda was saying, I guess I'm supposed to be listening to this. Fate has it happened to be here right at the moment. Oh, perfect, Brenda. Well, you know what? Today, what I was talking about is how important is your daily routine and how's it working for you? And to look at areas of your life that are working for you and see how you can incorporate those same routines maybe into the areas of your life that are not working that great for you. So for example, if you are in really good shape physically, why is that? What's your routine? Well, your routine is probably that you work out, and I would say a minimum 3 days a week if you're in really good shape, probably more, you tell me. I would guess if you're in really good shape that you eat well every day. You might have, some one day a week or something, or one meal every once in a while. That's not absolutely fantastic. But I would guess if you're in really good shape, that your routine is that you lean towards the healthy stuff more than the not so healthy stuff. Let me know if that's true. Next place that I really find that helps is if you're in the right frame of mind. If you have a good frame of mind, then you probably have a routine that's based around that. That's one thing that I can say. Like, I used to not have a good frame of mind, so I know the difference. And even little things that used to upset me don't. So last night I come home and my kitchen cupboard's a bit of a mess because we were gone all weekend and the kids are here with themselves and their friends, and generally I have a little spaz. Why can't you clean up after yourself? Blah, blah, blah. And this time I just went, you know what? Actually, it looks pretty good in here. There's very little. The only challenge was the dishwasher was full and there was still some dishes that could have went in. So instead of just freaking out about it, I just went, you know what, that's pretty good. And I didn't let my mindset go there, right? And it could very easily, especially when I'm tired, which I was last night when I got home. I didn't cook. I just grabbed something to eat on the way home. I told everybody else to fend for themselves. I wasn't cooking. So hubby went out to a friend's. The girls girls just ate what was in the house, so that was good. But that's a mindset. If you freak out and think, oh my gosh, why do I have to do everything around here? Change it to why do I get to do what I love? And like I got to do what I love absolutely all weekend, so that was my time. And if I have to come home and do a few dishes to make up for it, I'm happy to do that. So that's a mindset change that I've had recently, and I know my husband and my kids they appreciate it. Because I do have the fly off the handle, and you know what, it is always to the people you love the most, because they're going to be there for you no matter what. And I was calling Desiree because she was the only one that was home. And I'm going, Desiree, where are you? And so then here I found her sleeping on the couch. I said, well, I was yelling for you, but you weren't answering. And she goes, oh, what were you yelling? And I said, no, I was just looking for you. So you know what? I can tell they kind of still expect that little freak out when I come home and it's a mess. So something I'm constantly working on. So what are some of the routines? What are some of your daily routines that work for you? I know, Brenda, you're on here. One of the things that you've incorporated in to your daily routine is drinking your healthy coffee, right? And I think that's so important. You get into that habit of drinking that coffee every morning, and that it's so good for you. What's another healthy routine you have? Well, most of us brush our teeth every morning, right? And then probably every night. That's a healthy routine. One thing that I recommend to people is when they're doing that routine, add in another one. That might be when you say your affirmations for yourself every day. Whatever you're working on, or the universe is working to my advantage right now, different things like that. So say those affirmations to yourself as you're brushing your teeth. That's a very good habit to get into and very easy to incorporate. And make it easy for yourself. Instead of trying to remember what those affirmations are that you want to work on, write them down and stick them to your mirror. That's something I've actually done for years and years and years, is whatever I'm working on, I stick it to my mirror. Or I put it on little recipe cards. I love that. And then I can slide them into my cupboard for when the housekeepers come over sometimes, because I don't know what they think when I'm writing some of the affirmations down, and I shouldn't care. But that's a good routine. So put them on something where you see it every single day when you brush your teeth. If you brush your teeth in front of the sink, it should be right above the sink. And one of the things that one of the fellows at the mastermind was saying is he looks in the mirror and he talks to himself every morning, and that's a good thing to do. Like, you're built. He's very spiritual, and he says you're built for greatness. God built you that way, and go out and do something that proves that today. So I think that's a really powerful affirmation to do in the morning. So something that you could do is add in something easy. Start with something easy, because if it's easy, you'll continually do it. And then once that's down pat, then you start adding another one. Maybe it's a glass of lemon water. That is a really healthy thing to do every day. It's got cleansing abilities, and it's just really, really good for your body. Not to mention that it tastes pretty nice too, as opposed to just plain water. What else could we do for a daily routine? I'm just going to actually flip through, because I seen a few people were talking to me here, and I think I missed it. Okay, let's see what we got here. Good morning, Jancy. Good morning, Carm. Good morning, Amanda. Good morning, Susie. Lindy says she's sharing this on her Facebook. Awesome. You know what? I really appreciate when you guys like and share and give me some hearts and some little thumbs up. Makes me aware that you're listening to me and you like what I'm doing. Harry says the mastermind works at the day-to-day activities. If I tell my staff that the forecast is projected at -30 tomorrow morning, guys are automatically hoping and are feeling sick. Have a headache already. Oops, let's see here. If I tell them to have a good night and we'll resume same place, same time tomorrow, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see where that would be a good thing. Good morning, Anthony. Harry says, healthy routine. Always remember to tell yourself this will be a great day and smile. Smile is very important. It just, it takes less muscles and less effort just to smile, and it really does make you feel better. One of the things that when I do this Mindset Monday, it actually does as much for me as you, because it makes me think about the stuff that I want to teach. So we had a half a day training for the coaches that are coming on board with my group, and I learn as much from them as they do from me. And when we're sitting, it forces me ahead of time to really think things through, things that we have to cover, and then it gets done, and hopefully it becomes routine for everybody else too. Anthony says, what's the top affirmations that you use? You know what? That's a really good question. I actually have one here that I'm going to share with you. Now, when we were in Fort Lauderdale, I wrote this one out a little bit different, just based on something we were doing. But one of the ones that I just wrote out, and I'm trying to say every morning and every night, I have one actually right beside my desk too, so that if I stop in the middle of the day to think about something, it's right there. And it's, I help hundreds of people invest in real estate with other people's money. Those people help hundreds more. I'm creating a movement of real estate millionaires. People helping people right here at home. So that's my affirmation, because I love to be able to do that. I love to be able to work from my home. I love to be able to work with a group of people who always in the back of their mind, they're thinking, how can I help others? Our mastermind group is just amazing. We do roundtables and people, talk about what's going on in their lives and what their big goals are. And you know what's consistent is every single one of them are looking at how they can help others. And that's such a good place to be, because if you're thinking how you can help others, and those others can be your investors. So, you don't have to concentrate on third world countries. You don't have to concentrate on feeding the hungry. You can help in any way that suits you. If you help other people make good money in real estate, guess what? You're going to make more and more yourself. And that's something, was it Brian Tracy that says, the more people you help reach their goals, the more you reach your goals? Exactly true. So whatever that happens to be, Brenda, you're creating beauty every day in the world with your hairdressing shop. Like I love going for my monthly appointment there. I wouldn't miss it for the world. It's time for me to go. My hair's getting a little long, but everybody has a different value in the world. Recognize what yours is, and then just do it. Terry says, I have lemon water first thing every morning, one of my routines. Perfect. Lindy says, I need my me Monday. I have a hard time saying no to people because I do hair from home and my FX stuff. And I have a hard time saying no to people when they want to get their hair done. I need my me Monday. How can I just say no? You know what, Lindy? Just realize that you deserve that time. And for you to be the best Lindy there is, everybody needs to have me time. I absolutely have to have me time. After a weekend like this, I like to, after, very nice, wonderful weekend, I like to come home and just process that. What went well? What could I have did better? What were some of the conversations that people in the group were having? And what I found really cool is, and I've been to lots of masterminds like this. You get a bunch of busy business people and they get in there, and at break they all out of the room and they're all making their phone calls and dealing with their stuff at home. You know what? What I love about our group is they stay in the room. They might go off to do their video. Sometimes they go off together in twos, which I absolutely love. But lots of times they're just talking. And they're so into their conversation that it's actually kind of funny. I got to go, okay, come on group, let's get back. It's time to go. And they're like, let me just finish my conversation here. And you know what? It's so powerful to have a group of people like that to share your ambitions with. So just say no. I need this me time to be the best me that I can be, and be selfish. Think of it this way if you have to. Like on the airplane when they say when the oxygen mask comes down, if you reach over and try to save your baby right away, if you're panicking, well, you're going to lose your breath a lot quicker. You could pass out before you get that oxygen mask on your baby. So make sure you put yours on first. That's such a life skill in every way, shape, or form. We have to look after ourselves first. The things that energize me are like I work out regularly, anywhere from 2 to 4 times a week, depending on my schedule, but 2 no matter what. And I have to have that in there. I book that at a certain time in the morning. Yes, my kids complain if I'm not home to make them lunch, but guess what? Their dad steps up and gets it done, or they get it done themselves. And I go. They sometimes say, well, how come you're so much later today? Well, she worked me harder. I had to stretch out more. Take the time for yourself. Be demanding, because you can be that much better. I know a lot of people, they think, oh, it's so wonderful that I sacrificed my whole life for my kids and my neighbors and everything else. I disagree. You have to look after yourself. You have to be the best you can be. And if you don't take any time for yourself, if you don't look after yourself, guess what? You burn out very, very fast. So just know that you deserve it, and you just take it. Just take it, and you'll be in a better frame of mind and everything to deal with everyone else. Drew says, be the best thing in someone else's day today. Hey, that's a good one. And Drew, I think he really amazed me this weekend. He's with how he takes care of his tenants. He's a landlord in North Battleford, and the love and care that he shows his tenants. I said to him, I want to hire you, because I kind of have this love-hate relationships with my tenants. I love the fact that they're paying down my buildings, but I hate the fact that I have to deal with them. I know that that's a mindset thing, and I have to deal with them very little, but Drew loves his. He loves taking care of them. He loves helping them out, giving them advice. And you can see that. And that's why he's got good, loyal tenants, and probably better tenants than most people have. Courtney said, good morning. Thanks for another amazing mastermind weekend. Well, thanks for being there and making it a wonderful weekend. Rob says, mindset habits we practice: rejecting negativity of others. That's a good one. Reminding myself of God's promises to me and his goodness. Using affirmations through the day. Thankfulness, journaling, prioritizing. When did I get there? Prioritizing the to-do items according to what will bring the greatest potential. Perfect. Yeah, you know what? That's another thing that I do. And I did miss this morning because I slept in. I was tired from yesterday. But I have incorporated into my morning routine at least 5 days out of the week. Now I'm getting better. It used to be 1 day a week that I just sit in gratitude every morning. I meditate. I'm grateful for what I have, and I think about more ways that I can offer my value out into the world, and just sit there. I sit there with my coffee, with my earbuds on. I listen to some nice soft music and just get in that state. And for years and years, I couldn't understand the value of meditation. I couldn't understand. I couldn't get to that gratitude place. And I still remember I had a conversation with actually a coach's wife one time, and she says, I don't spend a lot of time on just meditating, but when I get that feeling, she says, that feeling you get with your kids because you just love them so much. And I said, oh yeah. She says, I just sit there and let that feeling wash over me again and again. And I realized that that's the feeling that I'm going for. So when I'm doing my gratitude practice, because I'm a head person, so I'm always doing stuff in my head. But if I can feel it in my heart and in my stomach, I know I did it right. And the longer you don't have to stay there all day. You can't. I think Esther Hicks, from Esther and Abraham Hicks, they say if you can practice that for 17 seconds, keep that feeling, you are in the right vibration with the world. So keep that in mind. 12 seconds, 17 seconds, something like that. I try to go 17 just because I think I've heard it different, of just sitting in that space and really feeling that gratitude that you are getting the vibration that the universe, you're connecting with the universe that way. So if whatever it takes for you, I know with me, if I do think about my kids and the love that I have for them, that takes me to that spot, and then I can be grateful for more other things in my life. What's another one here? So that's good, Robbie. Lindy, Audrey says Lindy can read the book called Boundaries. That might be a good one. Harry says, amen, Rob. Terry says, as Rob says, rejecting negativity is another thing I'm practicing as well. Yes, we can't let ourselves be drawn into some of that crap people give us. Corny says, if you don't help yourself, you'll not be able to help others. Learn to say no. People will respect you for that. Harry says, exercise is a very good practice for you, brain exercise. You know what? Yeah, brain exercise is good. And you know what? Affirmations is a way of doing that. Gratitude, meditation. Good morning, Charmaine. Rob says, when you were starting out, how did you get over the hump of just surviving month to month to a point where you're thriving financially? Did you ever have to create cash for short-term financial needs to get onto your long-term goals? Oh my gosh, you know what, Rob? We still do that to this day. You know what? With my background being a single mom, earning like $1,200 a month, which was next thing to, well, it was really poverty level because I was living in low-income housing, paying $30 a month for my daycare, full-time daycare, because I work full-time. That's subsidized. That's living month to month. That's living hand to foot. Or hand to mouth, I should say. And you know, when I moved to Regina, I still wasn't making really good money. I think I was making like $1,400 a month. And even then, it was tough because I was paying more rent here. I didn't get subsidized daycare anymore, and my girl didn't need as much daycare anymore, but she still needed a little bit after school and stuff. And always, and you know what? Even to this day, even though we consider ourselves financially free because the day-to-day living expenses are paid for. But this is what happens. When your day-to-day living expenses are paid for at this level, your level changes. And then you need more to pay your day-to-day living expenses. Now, you could choose to stay here. We didn't. We choose that we wanted to keep going. We wanted to keep growing as people. And a good way for me to force myself to keep growing is to always need more money, you know. I had a mentor, and one of my, it was when I was a financial services person, and that was when I first started into sales. And he said to me, Edna, never be scared to spend money because you've got the ability to make more. And that's what people need to realize is we've always got the ability to make more. And if you hoard every cent that you make, you're not free-flowing abundance. So I'm very much into free flow, which in by us having the mortgage pay down, it allows me to do that because I've got my bases covered. I've got my day-to-day living expenses covered, and I've got my long-term future covered. So when you've got that stuff covered, then you can do other stuff. So I spend a lot of money on coaching, training, books, courses, always doing at least 2 or 3 courses at once. And those courses never, ever cost under $5,000, I'll tell you that. And it pays off for me because I'm learning new things. It was actually something, I think it was Anthony pointed out this weekend, he appreciates that about me, that it's not the same old thing. There's always something new because I'm always learning. And it's true. It's one of my, it's one of the ways I energize myself is by learning. If I just was giving all the time and not refueling, it would be tough. Plus I always like to learn new things. I'm not a person that want to just do the same thing over and over again. And so I hope that helps, and I hope that shares. I'm just going to flip back here, make sure I got everything. Hey, John and Laura from Fort Myers, Florida. That's awesome. Anthony says, start over. Warren had me on the phone. Darn you, Warren, you leave my audience alone. Okay. Well, you know what? I don't know if I can start over totally. You were wondering, I can't even remember what you asked me. Oh, here he said, what's my affirmations? Okay, you know what? I'll come back to that in a sec. Rob was saying, do you ever have to create cash for short-term financial needs? Okay, so this is something you need to learn. So in Ray Higdon's mastermind, I got to the point where I felt, and I still do to this day, if I need money for anything, I honestly feel like I can sit at my desk and write myself a check. Do you remember that song that the Beatles wrote? I'm going to go sit down and write me a swimming pool. Well, you know what? You can. If you get into the right frame of mind, like sometimes I get busy and I'm growing and I'm building and I'm building and I'm building. But if I step back and I say, oh my gosh, I've got a bill that I have to cover by the end of the month, I know exactly what I need to do to cover that bill. Always. I've got things in my arsenal that I can go out and cover that. And that could be, make a sale. I still offer some financial advice. I can offer that and get paid. People are always willing to pay for that kind of stuff. I don't always offer it because it's not where my heart is, but there's always backup plans that I can go back to and make money at. It might be referral. I have different referral sources. I might refer somebody that I don't always think about, but when you sit and think, there's always ways. I have this exercise, and again, I actually got this from my coach, Fabienne Fredrickson, and what she says is there's 50 ways to afford something right now. So most people use the excuse, I can't afford that, for not doing something different and really beneficial in their life. But if you understand that when you ask for something, it's always given to you in the form of an opportunity, not a check in the mail. So when you're asking for money, it doesn't come in the form of a check in the mail, but an opportunity. And one of the things that Ray always taught us is value equals money. So the more value you put out into the world, the more money you're going to get. So if you're looking to create more money, put out more value. Whatever the best thing that you're at, that you're good at doing, do it. You realize you can afford that thing. So it says, if you understand that when you ask for something, it's always given to you in the form of an opportunity, not a check in the mail, but an opportunity, you realize you can afford that thing. So the way for you to afford something is already in your life, something you haven't actioned yet. So instead of saying, I can't afford that, change your mindset to, how can I afford that? You know, John, what's his name? I think I have his book here. Can't think of his, but his book is called Affirmations. So for people who have a hard time saying, I'm rich and wealthy, and they kind of say, yeah, right. Your brain kind of says, yeah, right. Instead of saying those affirmations, he says, say affirmations, which is a question. Why am I so fortunate? Why do I attract money every day? So it's a question you're asking the universe. And the more you can ask it, the more likely it is to come. So just realize that. When you ask, it's given. Just go out and do the action and it's going to be there. So if you change your mindset to, how can I afford that? Your mind will immediately shift to finding solutions that already exist. Okay, so I've got quite a few masterminders on my program here today. Thanks, guys, because after the weekend, you can very easily just be sleeping in. So tell me, it's not easy. There's a lot of money to be paid to be part of my mastermind, right? And I'm sure at one time, the first thing that came to mind was, oh, I can't afford that. And I know a few of you that's the case because some of you sat for a long time before you actually pulled the trigger. How did that change? Did you say instead, how can I afford that? Was that one of the things that came up? Or what happened to you that made you realize that no matter what happened, you deserve that time to spend on yourself and growing your business, and that was an investment in yourself and that it was worth it? So in this sheet, 50 ways to afford something right now, she says, please write down 50 different ways. Yes, 50, not 16 or 46. You can make money right now in your business. An opportunity you haven't said yes to yet, or in your personal life, house sitting, cooking classes, etc. Nothing is too far-fetched or crazy to write down. This is a mind stretching exercise to help you get more creative about finding solutions. You'll then take action on the best 6 or 9 available. If you stop short of 50, keep going until you do. Hint, the universe will fill the rest in for you. So do that today. If there's something that you feel is not covering your day-to-day, what opportunity has been presented to you that you haven't yet said yes to? Good one? Okay, so I said, how can I not afford it when I moved ahead? Perfect. Good for you, Charmaine. Anthony said it was the only way I could afford it. Rob says, are you able to share the 50 ways worksheet you just shared about? I can. I'm not sure how to share it on this Facebook Live. I'll go when I post this, I'll see if I can post it on there. And if not, I'll email it to you. So if anybody wants to know, just let me know somehow and I'll get it to you. Drew says, opportunities are usually disguised as hard work. Absolutely. Terry says, one thing that's a problem for me is balancing my renovation business with getting into the real estate investing. But I know I'm tired of working for money and I want money to start working for me. And you know what? That's perfect, Terry. One of the affirmations I'm going to get you to ask yourself every day is, how can I start having my money work for me? So it could be how, because we don't know, right? So if we keep asking the universe, how can I have my money working for me instead of me working for my money? And keep asking that over and over, it's going to come to you. Opportunities are going to start coming to you. Just realize that, the check may not come, but opportunities are going to come for you to get what you want. Just keep asking for it. And Rob says, any ideas for creating quick short-term cash flow that helps tie you over when you're seeing more monthly cash, until you're seeing more monthly cash flow from real estate? You know what? That is really great, Rob. We have, and sometimes, you know what, you have to learn it first, so it's not something that maybe you can go and do. But in our 3-day event in March, we have Barry McGuire coming out, and he's teaching us about agreements for sale. Now, in an agreement for sale, you can sometimes get paid up front to do a deal with someone. An agreement for sale is quite often how they happen is you're helping someone out. So say, for example, someone's in a $300,000 house. They put 5% down, so that'd be like $15,000, right? The market's dropped 5%. So if they were to try to sell their house today, they couldn't even get $300,000. So and then on top of that, they got their CMHC fee. Maybe 2 years into the mortgage, struggling. Maybe they got to transfer somewhere else. You can help that person by taking over their mortgage payments. Sometimes they'll pay you to do that, because they don't want to ruin their credit, but they got to move. There's something, maybe they can go somewhere else and get a job that they're not having right here at the moment. And you can take over, you can rent out that property and create yourself some cash flow. Again, there's so many different ways. But for me to tell you, it's probably not as beneficial for you to figure it out. So wholesaling a deal is another thing. If you can create value up front to wholesale, you can do that, to wholesale a deal. But I'm gonna get you that 50 ways somehow, either through email or the other. Sit down and do that exercise. And you know what? That's creating. You're creating. There's things that you're going to come up with that are actually going to work for you. And one of the things I know you do well is speaking. Maybe there's a speaking engagement that could happen this weekend. Maybe there's a speaking engagement that could happen next weekend. And if you keep asking how or why am I so fortunate to get these speaking engagements, that could happen. And you know what? Maybe you post in the group, because there's a lot of successful people in this group that have access to other people. I know even Charmaine, for example, she used to work at SaskTel. They bring in speakers all the time. Maybe she could make a recommendation. George has his own pharmacy. I don't know. Maybe they bring in speakers for motivating their staff. I'm not 100% sure, but start thinking along those lines and realize that, you know what, maybe a company had an event planned this weekend and their speaker's sick. is there any fill-in opportunities? Have you got on the list of different places that play speakers? That's another opportunity. And just asking people to share what you do, and how they could maybe share it with people that they know that might give you an opportunity to do that. Does that make good sense? Hey, hi Lee, how are you? Glad to have you on board. I just got to see what time it is here. Oh my gosh, 10:35, so I'm already 5 minutes over. Do we have any more questions that I can answer today? I know I have a meeting happening here right at 11. Today we get to go meet with our accountant to go through all our year-end stuff, so that's always fun and interesting. I think I don't have to prepare for it, but I do have a couple of calls in the meantime. But you're welcome, Rob. If there's any other questions, shoot them off. And if you happen to miss before I post it, I'll come back and do it after. I'll see what it takes for me to post that that sheet on there. And I see that, who did I see on here? I think it's Amanda. Amanda knows how to do that. Maybe she can help me with that after. Okay. Oh, and Angenine's on here. Good morning, Angenine. Okay, thank you. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad I was able to help you get going on a Monday morning with your mindset. Corny says, Rob, do Facebook Lives about your speaking engagements. Create interest. Hey, good suggestion there, Corny. Corny's very creative. That's awesome. Okay, well, I am going to sign off. I don't see any more questions here. So have a very good week. I will be on Friday morning again with Facebook Live with all your real estate questions answered. So come talk to me about that same time. And I'll be back here next Monday. If you have any questions in the meantime, shoot them over to me, or bring them when you come. I really appreciate the questions. I really appreciate all you guys being on here to get us all going Monday morning. And have a very, very, very good week. And I'll talk to you all Friday. Bye for now.